Hello and welcome to MTG Arena Duels, formerly Magic Stew. I'll talk about that a little more in a later video, but right now we're here to see some decks for the Theros event that's starting shortly on February 2nd, 2020. Hey, that's today! In this event, we'll play decks made up of only cards from the Theros Beyond Death set. And the first deck that I'd like to show you is Mono Black Devotion with just Theros cards. I haven't been able to test these in the event yet because as of making this video, the event hasn't started yet. But I played a few games with it in Standard on Arena, and it actually won a few games, so that's pretty exciting. Let's take a look. One of the goals of this deck is to keep from getting beaten up by our opponents, and we're going to attempt that by taking all of their good cards. So we have 4 copies of Agonizing Remorse, plus the second lore counter from our 2 Elspeth's Nightmare uses that same effect, just doesn't let us take creatures. Obviously, we'll need a lot of removal as well, so 4 Erebos' Intervention, 3 Blight Breath Catoblepus, that's a mouthful, 4 Drag to the Underworld, and I'll mention that Elspeth's Nightmare will remove smaller creatures upon casting. We're going to finish our removal off with 4 copies of Mire's Grasp. Helping us along with our devotion, because ultimately we want Gary to win the game for us, I've added 4 Underworld Dreams, which doesn't do a lot of damage for us here, but it helps a lot when we finally cast any of our 4 Grey Merchant of Asphodel. 3 Tymoret Chosen from Death, and then I've thrown in 3 copies of Temple Thief to round out the deck and give us a lower and earlier game creature for blocking, or whatever we may be able to use it for. I have no idea what we'll be up against, but I have a feeling there will be enchantments, and it just might work out that we can get a few hits in with our Temple Thieves. Finally, Omen of the Dead, for fixing our hands, and more importantly, to bring Gary back into our hand once he's been killed or countered. Now our land base is 22 swamps, that's the deck. Again, it actually did pretty well in Standard when I was testing it, and that was up against decks that could draw from all of the sets that are currently available in Standard. And actually 3 of the 4 decks that I'm making videos for today did pretty well. I'll be adding the links to all of them in the description, and I'll give you some gameplay footage as soon as I have it. Hope you like the deck, and I hope you have fun in the event. Final thought, I would never spend wildcards for a small event like this where you're just receiving a few gold and a couple random cards as prizes. The RVR just is not good enough to justify spending your wildcards unless you have so many wildcards that you don't have any other use for them. That being said, I wouldn't spend wildcards to build decks for small events like this. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, plus ring that bell so you can receive notifications when I post more brews, gameplay, and arena strategies. Thanks for watching.